Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming. Welcome to the Greenberg Library. Before I introduce our performers, ladies' room is in the back left through the double doors, men's room is through the single door over here, in case you guys need that. And now, I'd like to introduce Kofi and Sankofa, drummers and dancers. Thank you.
Hi everybody. It's good to have everybody here, and I just want us to take a moment, to kind of recognize our invited guests, who we can't see, with our eyes. Or physical eyes, right? We stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. And in my part of the world, we believe that, they are here. They are right out here. Though we don't see them, they are present. So let's just take a moment. Feel your presence. Thank you. We are going to lift them up with this rhythm called Sobaja. When our ancestors saw the thunder and the lightning, they realized there is something way beyond us as humans. And love and empathy is what we need to be about. So we want to start with a rhythm called Sobaja. Let's all try that. Sobaja. 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 And I just want to remind you, we're going to be doing a lot of call and response, the African way. So just be ready for that. All you have to do is just respond to what I am saying. Hey, 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 Sobaja. Hey, hey, Sobaja. Hey, hey, Sobaja. Hey, Sobaja. Hey, Sobaja. Let me back to Sobaja. We want to be easy on that. So your response is just hey, 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 Sobaja. Let me back to Sobaja. Hey, hey, Sobaja. Let me back to Sobaja. Hey, Sobaja. Yo, yo, yo. welcome you formally with a rhythm called Funga, you know, Alafia. And just, you know, in the Yoruba language, Funga Alafia means, you know, you're welcome. And Ashe means thank you. So that is where the Ashe comes from. It's from the Yoruba language. So we want to formally welcome you. So when I call Funga Alafia, your response will be Ashe, Ashe. Let's try that. Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe. Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe, repeat. Ashe, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Wow, you guys sound good. All right, so we're gonna kind of believe that you are on board with us. All right, okay. Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe. Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe. Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe. Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. We love to drum. We love to bring joy to you. And in our part of the world, there are names to some of us drums. So I just want to introduce the most popular drum in the whole wide world. This is the djembe. Let's try that. Djembe. 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 And it comes from Senegal, Mali, you know, all those places in West Africa. So, you know, there is a gentleman who came here in the United States, Laji Kamara, and, you know, he was followed by other folks like Olatunji, you know, and guess what? They probably didn't have an idea that coming to America would help this drum infuse the whole world. You know, they had no idea about it. But guess what? Today, there is what we call drum circles all over. In China, you know, Poland, you're gonna go to places that you haven't even, Papua New Guinea, you know, and all these places, and there is drumming, because drumming provides us a means to express ourselves. You know, even if you are sad, you know, for a moment, you are carried away through the vibrations of the drum. So, we are here today to continue these folks, what they did, you know. And let's not forget Laji and what? Olatunji. So let's not forget about those folks, right? We want to come to what we call Panlogo drum, which is from Ghana. You know, Panlogo is a different shape of drum if you look at it, you know. And that is where the conga and all the other drums, we call this the mother of all, you know, drums, because they began to kind of, you know, when people were taking out, you know, to across the ocean, you know, transatlantic slave trade, guess what? They ended up here in the Caribbean, in the islands, and also in America, you know, and guess what? They had to find a way, because drumming is what? The heartbeat. It's the heartbeat of what? Humanity. You know? So we want to introduce you guys to this. And there is another drum here, which is called the talking drum. We call it dondo. You know? And I just want to kind of try a little bit of it. Why do we call it a talking drum? Because it talks. You know, all the drums talk. Dondo is the name for this drum. Let's try that. Dondo. 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 So, I am going to ask this to speak English, because the drum speaks all languages. All right? So, we're going to try to get it to speak something. All right? What are you hearing? Hello. Wow, that's good. Let's give it a listen. All right. Let's try it again. We're going to move it up a little bit. How are you? Whoa. You guys are awesome. I'm going to play it again. the last one, I'm gonna try and confuse you guys. All right, so listen, the drums were used to sort of send messages from one village to the other, you know, and a lot of times we were warned, you know, if there are folks coming up, you know, and we listened because it traveled far away. And I'm talking about the big talking drums. They are called a tupan. We play them with sticks. So you could check it out, a tupan. Let's all try that. A tupan, yes. So we want to introduce another drum. It looks like a drum, but it's a xylophone, all right? So I'm gonna get you guys to feel it out. And you know, it's a xylophone, and I don't know how these folks engineered this, but believe me, there's boards underneath it, and some of the boards have spider webs, so the white spots are all spider webs. I don't know what they were thinking about, but it is what gives it the buzzing sound. You know, it gives it that buzzing sound. And they are so genius that I can't believe how they found spider webs, you know, and then got it to be part of this production here. But everything about it is organic, you know, it's all wood, hides, and boards underneath it. So it's like a vibraphone. It goes in and out, and it creates that beautiful melody. All right. There is a gentleman in here who is amongst us, and I'm going to invite him for him to join us, you know, on this rhythm. We call this Pan Logo. Let's try that, Pan Logo. And Eli, he's a big shot. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about himself. Join us here. Here, come on out here. Here. Let's get you a chair. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get you a chair here. Yeah. There you go. Yes, she's playing a conga. The mother of all the drums. Yeah. Yes. So I just want Eli to kind of give you a little bit about what he does. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a drummer.
Yeah.
Since the age of 2. I've been involved with music and understanding the healing effect that it has on all of us. How we are connected through vibrations in ways that we understand and ways that we take for granted. That has taken me to a career in the entertainment and music business, where I became a DJ, and then a recording engineer, and then a record producer. And I'm currently the audio curator for the Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx.
Yeah. So you understand why I said he's a big shot. All right. All right. So this rhythm we're going to be playing is a rhythm that transcends beyond the ocean. And I want to say that there are a lot of people out here in the United States who spend time in Ghana, you know, celebrating what we call Homo War. Let's try that. Homo War Festival. You know, Homo War Festival is a harvest festival. So basically, what it does is, you know, people travel and it happens in August. So I know there are a lot of people who are getting ready to go, you know, and it's amazing. Talk about food. These folks, the Ghana people live in the southernmost part of the country. So basically, they are near the shore, the Gulf of Guinea, you know, and they are fishermen. But guess what? Oh, fishermen, you know. and guess what? I am I'm kind of salivating, you know, when I talk about you know, the kind of food they make. And I love spices, so basically it's like, you know, and on and on and on. But they grow corn too. So when the corn kind of, the harvest, because they burn, when the corn is ready, but it is, it has the ears, you know, they stop drumming. They stop drumming for a whole month, you know, and then when the festival takes place, it's amazing. You get all the drums out, you know. So after it's been harvested. So when we call achari achari, it means what? Clap and clap. So let's try that a little bit. Achari achari. Achari achari. And then the next thing is, when I call ile, that's all you need to know for now. All right. Achari, achari. Hey, achari, achari. Achari, achari. And when you are clapping, you are just expressing yourself, you know, in a way. Hey, I feel good, you know. Hey, I met this lady on the road, you know. Yeah, achari, achari. Hey, achari, achari. Achari, achari. Oh, achari, achari. Achari, achari. We have another kind of drums behind us here. And what I want you to know is this is what we call the mama and kids drum, you know. So you have the mother, which is the junju. Let's all try that, junju. And then the brother, who is the samba. Let's try that, samba. And we have what we call kekere. That's the sister. Kekere. Kekere. So we want to kind of explore a little bit, all right? So, juju, kekere, samba, juju, kekere, samba. So we're gonna try a little bit of rhythm here. So, and clap, and clap, and so you got rhythm. You got rhythm. Don't let nobody tell you you don't have rhythm. And listen, you can dance. Don't let nobody tell you you got 3 legs. All right? So, anyway, all you have to do is just to feel that rhythm. That is how we, as Africans, that is what is, that vibration gets into us and we forget about what is around us. So for a moment, you forget about what is going on in this world. It's crazy out there, right? But you forget about that. And you are able to breathe again, you know. So we want to give you a little bit of a taste that we're going to give the dancers and drummers a little break. Okay. This is what we call the bamboo flutes. So it's called a 10-10 bend. Let's try that. A 10-10 bend. A 10-10 is in the language, the Akan language, bamboo. A 10-10 is bamboo, and bend is flute. So a 10-10 bend is the bamboo flute. When you hear this anywhere, you know there is something so important going on in the native realm. Okay. So we're going to play a little bit. thank you, thank you. You know, you've been such a great audience, right? And gosh, we're not gonna forget about you guys. Yes. And I know we came in, we bombarded you with all kinds of stuff. You know, do you guys have any questions? Any questions at all about our clothing we are wearing, the jewelry we are wearing, whatever thing that you guys, you know, the drums, you know. Okay.
Where else did you perform?
Well, we are coming September 20, I think 20, is this a Saturday? Yeah. 27, 28. If you go on the Croton, is it Revolution Festival. We're gonna be Croton Point. Yeah, I think that is close to you, right?
Yes.
Croton Point Park. So we're gonna be there, you know. And we do colleges and schools, you know. We go to the high schools, you know, we go to the elementary schools, you know, so we are all over the place. Yeah. I'll be coming near you guys. I'm doing a drum circle, you know, in August, you know, for River Arts. I don't know whether you guys know River Arts. They are just is it Territano or we go to a lot of places, so I guess. Yeah.
I came in a bit late, so I apologize if you answered this question before. First of all, you all are amazing.
Thank you.
So we're so happy to educate and engage us at the same time. It's such a gentle way. It's wonderful. It's such wonderful. So I came in late. So I didn't know if you introduced yourself to say where you are based here in New York and how you came together.
Well, you want us to explain? All right. So Keen and Reesme are coming all the way from Monticello. And where's your place? Longetti, yes, yeah. Lisa and I live in Salisbury Mills. John and Marcy, they live in Hopewell Junction. Yes. Robert lives in your neighborhood here. I'm in Greenberg. And Eli lives in Queens, you know. So we are all over the place. But we practice every Tuesday religiously at Salisbury Mills, you know. Yeah, we have a studio, and that is where we get together and what? Yes, and I was trained by my grandfather, you know, so thank you. Yes. So I mean, we have a lot. If you go to our website, which needs a little bit of updating, yes, we kind of, yes, we're gonna make sure that we keep pace with that. you know. And there is a drum circle happening at what we call it, River Arts. I'm going to be teaching a whole week's class there. So look out for us. Sign up and be part of, you know, those classes. Yeah, yes, every evening, you know, from I believe 6:30 or so to 7:30. I'll be back in the class. Yeah, it's the third week of August. Yeah.
I'd like to know if the ladies can dance classes this one week. So you all but it is probably way up county now.
I was going to say, yes, it sounds very well to do our rehearsals, then, you know, people are welcome to come and join in with us. You know. But a lot of times I've done workshops. I've done workshops with coaching. I've done the dance piece and the drumming. And you start out with a lot of people, 20 people. And by the time you get to 2 weeks, maybe 5. They don't realize, even though it looks gentle and, you know, you're not.
It's a lot of work.
It's still,
Yeah.
it's still moving. And what you're doing. It's more work than people expect.
Oh, so you take the class. It's good, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kofi teaches a lot of dance. Kofi dance. Being shy of me.
Yes. Well, Keaton reads me. We gotta kind of get some classes going, you know, so people can sign up. You know? All right. Yes. Yes, Eli's my brother.
Our whole entire family drum dance, you was doing it at little.
Yeah. So, anyway, when it's in the blood, you know, you grew up with it, just like me, you know, just right away, you know, 6 years old, and you keep drumming, and it becomes part of you. So after all the college, you know, it's like, this is what I want to do, you know. Yeah. So anyway, we want to close up. Can we close up with one rhythm? All right, okay. So we want to close up with a rhythm, and it's going to be short. Agbaja. All right. So it's a rhythm that reminds us about where we come from. You know, Egypt wasn't white. Egypt was black. All right. So basically, our folks, the Airways, the Asantes, they were royals when they were kicked out, you know, of places. And guess what? They had to come all the way to West Africa. How did they do it? They went through, you know, they went through hardship, you know. They went down to South Africa, they were kicked out, you know, they came up, and then eventually they ended up in West Africa. And what they were looking for, you know, we take water for granted. Am I right?
Yes.
You go to the toilet and you flush, you know, all the time. That bucket, all right, that you have there, somebody has said, if they have it the whole day, that's what they have. So don't take those things for granted. Akbajai, 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 oh. Akbajai, Akbajai, Akbajai. Akbajai. Yo, 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 yo. Thank you. Yeah.